Hi, my name is Bola Akinsanya, and I'm a Strategic Partner Manager here at Google, representing our suite of monetization solutions, including AdSense. Thank you all for joining our Hangout on air today. We're extremely excited to have two veteran AdSense partners here with us today, Kevin from San Francisco Chinatown.com and Doug from TeslaMotorsClub.com. Both partners are eager to share their story, business insights, and give you publisher perspective on working with Google AdSense. Kevin, would you like to give a quick intro and background on San Francisco Chinatown.com?
Sure. I started the site back in 2002, more about learning my own heritage and culture, but eventually it grew very quickly and it started becoming a site for information about Chinatown for locals and tourists from all kinds of things, from events to points of interest to everything in between.
Great. And Doug, would you like to give a quick intro as well and a little bit of background onto TeslaMotorsClub.com?
Sure. We started Tesla Motors Club back in 2006, back when people first started hearing about the Tesla Roadster. And we're an online community that we're Tesla fans, and we're also EV enthusiasts. And we're basically just a place to discuss the cars, and we've had a lot of growth recently in the last year or so with the Tesla Model S, which has a lot more appeal than the Roadster does in terms of a mass audience. So we've been dealing with growth in the last year or so.
Excellent. We're very excited to have both of you guys here with us today. Before we actually jump into our presentation, we'd love to kick things off with a quick video.
I'm Kevin Che, and I founded SanFranciscoChinatown.com in 2002. As you can guess from the name, the site is a guide to Chinatown for tourists and locals, featuring information on events, history, and other points of interest. I started using AdSense as a test in 2003. Before that, my income came from e-commerce. The test was a huge success, and AdSense made more for me than other channels. When I started using Google's DoubleClick for publishers, AdSense revenue tripled. And using DFP means I can manage all of my advertising through a single tool, which saves me a lot of time. The revenue from AdSense has allowed me to expand and diversify over the years without worrying about charging users. Since I started the site, it's grown significantly in content, and our traffic has more than doubled. Many shop owners don't even have their own websites yet. I'm looking forward to seeing all of San Francisco's Chinatown online.
Expanding on the story you just saw, we have a jam-packed agenda today to give you a deep dive into AdSense. By the end of today's Hangout on Air, you will have a better sense of how you can earn more money through the product and enhance your visitors' experience on your site. We'll take a look at robust controls within the platform that allow you to control what type of ads show up on your site, and the powerful reporting tools that help you make informed decisions on your revenue earnings, optimization opportunities, and so much more. Why AdSense? It's really simple. You, as a publisher, want to focus your energy on creating great content that keeps visitors engaged and help you attract new audiences. AdSense presents a simple opportunity for you to earn significant revenue from your efforts. So you may be asking yourself, how does all of this work? Let's take a step back and look at the broader picture. Everyone and everything is online, which is a huge shift from how consumers engaged with content just 15 years ago. As more people become connected, advertisers are also looking for ways to engage consumers in this new environment. The desire to engage has created a substantial marketplace, with advertisers projected to spend almost $15 billion in 2014 on advertising alone. Google Executive Chairman Eric Schmidt thinks this could be a $200 billion business in approximately 10 years. This translates into a massive long-term opportunity for you as a publisher to continue doing what you do best while building a revenue-generating business around your efforts. That's truly where AdSense adds value. AdSense is the gateway to all the advertising dollars brands are spending with Google. As you may know, Google owns a small number of web properties, including google.com, gmail.com, and a few others. We understand that consumers only spend a fraction of their time online within our channels, so we built a dynamic technology in the form of AdSense that allows us to establish partnerships with trusted publishers like yourself to make it simple for you to host Google Ads and allows advertisers to speak directly to your visitors. The platform has been trusted for over 10 years, and over 2 million websites, your news content channels, e-commerce platforms, travel booking sites, real estate sites have all benefited from the over $7 billion we pay out yearly to our publishers. So let's dive into how the product works. You as a publisher make space on your site and decide what type of ads you want to host. You can choose to host display ads, which are the image-based ads you see online, or text ads, which are customizable to have a similar look and feel to the content on your site. On the other side of the house, an advertiser creates a campaign with desired goals to engage a specific audience or align their brand with specific content. For example, a major retailer may have a back-to-school initiative where they want to target sites that index highly against moms looking to make back-to-school purchases, as well as content channels creating back-to-school content online. Google's proprietary technology and algorithm matches the advertiser's goals with the right publisher in our open marketplace. The marketplace is a real-time bidding environment where we place the highest bids to the appropriate publisher based on the publisher's ability to match the advertiser's goals. We manage all the invoicing on your behalf, ensuring that all advertisers and networks purchasing your ad space are billed in full. Once we process all the billing and clearance, we pay you, the publisher, directly. Doug, how easy was it for you to integrate AdSense into your site?
It was extremely easy. All I did was go to the AdSense website and tell them what kind of ad I wanted, and it gave me the embed code, and I was just able to stick that on my site, and absolutely no worries.
Excellent. So approximately how long would you say it took you? About 30 minutes to get up and running?
It only took 30 minutes just because I took the time to maybe read everything. But once I had set up one ad, when I needed to add another one, maybe 2 minutes. I mean, it was very, very easy.
That's great to hear. So now let's spend some time talking about how showing relevant ads on publisher sites really complements the user experience. Partners. Your visitors spend a lot of time online in different channels and are used to seeing ads and engaging with ads through their browsing experience. Through AdSense, you can create a better experience for the customer on your site by showing ads that are meaningful to them. For example, if you're a sports site sharing the latest headlines from the weekend's football games, it's a complimentary experience to host ads from vendors selling sports paraphernalia from pro teams, much like the example displayed here. Or let's say you're an e-commerce site. You can host search ads, also known as CSA, that display relevant text ads based on visitor search in conjunction with your product offerings. CSA is extremely beneficial for e-commerce clients as typically only 2% of visitors actually convert while the rest are browsing. CSA truly offers a unique way to earn revenue from your browsing traffic without actually impacting your conversion funnel. Plus, both products have mobile ad sizes to ensure a seamless and integrated experience while a user is on the go. Kevin, how are you currently using AdSense on your site?
Right now, we're using AdSense to monetize a lot of the traffic since we have a blend of locals and visitors to sanfranciscochinatown.com, we allow Google's algorithms to determine what to show the different visitors, because we can't go in there and decide, constantly this is a local, this is a tourist. So we let Google's algorithm figure all that out, and along with whether it's text or display ads, because the algorithm is just smarter than me or other people running around in there trying to figure out what ad to show. So I think for us, it's anytime there's a big event like Chinese New Year, we see a huge surge in traffic, and we don't know if it's a local or is it a tourist coming to the event. So we just let Google's algorithm just figure it all out.
That's excellent. We understand how important it is for you as a publisher to have full control on your business, and we give you the tools that enable you to control which ads appear on your site and how you're represented in the marketplace. These tools help protect your brand, enable you to earn revenue, and ensure a positive user experience. 2 seconds. Within AdSense, you can block specific categories, advertisers, buyers, ad technologies, and more. You can choose to run display or text ads and have the ability to block specific ad creative on your site. Pardon, I actually have to grab a little bit of water. All right, so sort of engaging you guys again. Within AdSense, you really have the ability to block specific categories, advertisers, buyers, ad technologies, and so much more. You can choose to run just display or text ads and really have the ability to block creatives on your site. Creative blocking is done via our Ad Review Center, which allows you to actually see the specific ads that run on your site. So let's say you're okay with a major athletic apparel company displaying their brand message to your visitors. However, they recently started a campaign with a creative canvas that you find sensitive. While you're okay with the brand overall, you just don't want that specific creative showing on your site. Through the Ad Review Center, you have the ability to block that specific campaign without closing off demand from that specific retailer. Doug, how have you used the blocking options in AdSense, and do you find the blocking control satisfactory?
Yeah, there seems to be a good level of granularity. I'm able to review all the ads that do show up on the site. I don't, personally, we haven't had to block any sites, any ads in particular. We did have, when I first put the ad on, there were some irrelevant ads, but only for like the first week or so. And the Google algorithm was able to, sort of fine-tune. For example, we're a site about electric cars, and many of our ads are maybe other cars from other companies or our charging stations, and so that's all very relevant advertising. And so for the most part, we don't really have irrelevant ads.
That's great to hear. And Kevin, what about you? As a local business, were you concerned with competitors showing up, and how have you been able to use the blocking controls to really prevent that channel conflict?
Sure. So sometimes we'll see ads that maybe we don't want on the site, whether it's competitive reasons or it maybe doesn't match what we want on the site, like dating ads or something like that. So there's a lot of controls inside the Google AdSense system where you can block by category, you can block each down to the individual ad. So there's a lot of different ways you can, I guess, fine-tune what you want to show or what you don't want to show on the site, including blocking URLs. So we use a variety of different mixes of these type of blockings, but for the most part, it's just stuff that we find wasn't quite relevant. But for the most part, Google's algorithms will show a lot of relevant stuff. Since we're a travel site, we'll see a lot of things with related to travel, as well as local things like restaurants and things like that. So a lot of it's very, very relevant to the user. Just I think for us, more of a personal taste of certain things we don't want to block. I mean, we don't want it showing on the site. We'll block those.
No, that's awesome. That's excellent to hear, guys. So another really crucial part of the AdSense platform, and one that I find extremely beneficial when I'm working with publishers, is actually the reporting feature. So through the reporting tools, you can look at your earnings by day, week, or month. You can see if certain days of the weeks are more profitable than others by comparing date ranges. You can also see earnings by ad units, by platform, geolocation, targeting, and additional insights that are really valuable for publishers. For example, if you were to see that 50% of your earnings are coming from a mobile platform, but you don't have a mobile optimized site, you may want to make an effort to invest more in delivering a positive user experience on mobile-specific devices or create mobile-specific content. Plus, you can easily integrate your Google Analytics account into AdSense. For e-commerce platforms, this integration is extremely beneficial and aids in the ad placement decision-making process. Kevin, you're an e-commerce channel. You have an e-commerce channel as part of your site and are hosting ads within that channel. Did analytics play a big part in navigating the decision-making process on where to place ads and where consumers are spending money? Were you basically able to find value in leveraging analytics and AdSense and sort of making those decisions?
Yeah, I think just analytics itself is pretty simple to implement, and then you're adding AdSense on top of that is also pretty simple to implement. So when you combine the power of these two tools together, you can see all kinds of different data about your site, from what ads are working on what pages or what areas of the site. Is that affecting your conversion rate on the e-commerce side? There's a lot of different things you can see in there, and the two link together, so you can actually see a lot of detail in terms of what day of the week, what area are people coming from, that kind of stuff. So blending the two has basically allowed us to also see what areas of content we should continue to develop as well.
Nice.
So what we found out in the beginning was a lot of people look at events, and we started building out more content around that, and then the ads kind of follow that along with it. So overall, it's a win-win when you combine the two tools together.
Oh, that's awesome. Love to hear that, Kevin. I think with today's Hangout on Air, we've covered a ton of content. And if anything, I really want you, publishers, and all of our partners that have joined in today to walk away with 4 key points. AdSense is an extremely powerful tool. It's a simple and effective way for you to earn revenue while enhancing users' experience on your site. We give you full controls to decide what type of ads show up, along with in-depth reporting to help you optimize your site and your ad partnerships. Rest assured, you as a publisher can continue to create good content, and we promise to continue to make it easy and simple for you to earn revenue with little to no management required. How do I sign up? Go to google.com/AdSense/sign up. So we've had a ton of questions coming through our Google Plus page all week, specifically for our guests here today. So I'm going to go ahead and field some of these for both you, Kevin, and Doug, if that's okay. This one's actually for Doug. Doug, were you surprised at how much money you were actually able to earn with AdSense?
Yeah. Well, our site isn't. We don't focus too much on revenue. We just want to, make enough to cover our expenses, and because we're really a labor of love in terms of our site. Yeah, we used to just have a single ad at the bottom of the page, and so we added an ad at the top, and I was surprised. And also, this was through recommendations that Google AdSense gives you about ad placements and what types of ads to use. And so we put an ad near the top of the page, and above the fold it easily got 3 times as much as the ad at the bottom. And so that was surprising to me, and it was just a very moderate change. And we're very careful about not having too much advertising on the site, and so that little change made a big difference, and I was surprised by that and happy about it.
Now that's really great to know, and is actually a part of the AdSense platform that I'd love to expand on. So much like you mentioned, AdSense does have built-in optimization features. So once you're an AdSense publisher, the platform itself will start recommending, ad integration changes, different positioning changes, whether you should opt into text or display, in an effort to help you actually earn more revenue. So it sounds like, Doug, that was really helpful in helping you guys sort of grow your overall business without necessarily making a ton of changes.
Right.
Excellent. Kevin, so why did you choose to go with AdSense instead of any of the other monetization options out in the marketplace?
Actually, we started with different things like other ad networks and affiliate programs and other e-commerce platforms first. So we were kind of hesitant to jump into AdSense in the beginning. So we did a small test, and then that test did pretty well. So we started expanding and rolling out, and we started earning more from AdSense than from all the other revenue sources that we had at that time. So as we created more content, we incorporated more of the AdSense tool across the board, and it's probably one of the top earners for the site right now, and continues to be for the past, whatever 10 years that we've been running with Google. So we've been really happy with the results. Hopefully, in the near future, I can commit to doing this full time, and having this as my full-time job, and having Google AdSense pay for my salary, so to speak.
Love it, for sure. And I'm definitely, I definitely see that as an opportunity with the way that San Francisco Chinatown is growing. And I think that, one of the real differentiating factors of AdSense versus some of the other monetization products out there comes to our ability to, fill at 100%. I know that, you mentioned you worked with multiple platforms, but sort of when you look at, this monetization solution versus AdSense, the Google brand itself is able to capture significantly more advertising dollars. And so for our publishers, that means for every visitor, for every impression on your site, you're always earning revenue versus some of the other platforms that do struggle a little bit with fill issues. So Doug, did you see any increase in page load times when you added AdSense ads to your site?
No. The ad is asynchronous, so it doesn't slow down the rendering of the rest of the site at all. I mean, the rest of the site is just sort of loading up. So that's been fine.
Great. And so, I mean, Kevin, you've been a Google AdSense partner now for over 10 years. How has Google supported you as you've grown? And when you have technical questions or issues, like what channels do you typically use to get information?
Online resources are obviously great, but other times, we've actually went to a couple of trade shows, got really good advices from there, from different Google, AdSense people. At the shows, I've also attended a couple events that Google has thrown themselves, how to enhance and grow the capabilities within your site as well. So there's a lot of different ways, and also I think you can go just online and just chat with support and have any questions, and you can just get that addressed quickly. So I think for us, it's been pretty easy, and the advice that we've gotten has been pretty helpful. Everywhere from color matching on text ads to letting the optimization engine run itself to the sizes of ads that you should run. And also within Google AdSense itself, just like Doug said, you get optimization tips as well inside the framework. So a lot of tools to help improve the amount of revenue you can pull from your site.
Now that's awesome to hear, and AdSense does have a robust help center with tons of articles, and it's usually the first go-to that publishers, the first resource that publishers use when they're looking for technical issues. So I'm glad to hear that you've been using that platform to help optimize and address any of the issues that may arise as you're growing with the product. We have a couple coming through our Plus page that I definitely want to address for our viewers. So Someone has asked, is there a limit to the number of AdSense ads that you can have on your site? And the answer is yes. We typically recommend a maximum of 3 AdSense units, especially if you're hard coding it on your page, in order to ensure a great user experience on your site. But yes, 3 is definitely the max number of ads if you're hard coding onto your page. We also have a question that says, I operate an e-commerce site and I'm concerned about losing sales from ads. Are there any ways to prevent this? I think this really goes back to the analytics discussion that we had earlier and some of the insights that Kevin shared. Using Google Analytics, you can really understand areas on your site where people are actually leaving your page, where you have high bounce rates, and where people are generally browsing. And so by leveraging analytics, you can really make informed decisions on where to place ads. If someone is leaving your site, AdSense is a great way for you to earn revenue sort of on their exit. So as an e-commerce site, analytics plays a really big part in sort of the decision-making process on where to place ads without necessarily impacting your overall business. Would you agree, Kevin?
Yeah, I think it's useful to figure out where the buyers are versus browsers, like you just said. And I think a lot of, if you look at even bigger e-commerce sites, they have ads on their site. So this is no different than that. But I think that's a way to augment the revenue that you get rather than take away, I think is how I look at it. I think the best thing for that person to do is probably do some testing. If it takes a big dip, obviously take it away, but if it doesn't, and you'll probably find that it doesn't, because conversion rates for most e-commerce sites are below 5%. So you'll see 95% of the people are just browsing to begin with, and you'll have additional revenue that you probably would not have thought that you could gain from that, from AdSense.
Excellent. We've got a couple more in the time that we have left. So someone has asked, if my site is dynamic response, can I still use AdSense? And the answer is yes. You don't have to. If your site is dynamic response, then it means you don't actually have to create mobile-specific units. Can you use AdSense to monetize your mobile apps? We currently do not have an AdSense for app monetization, but we do have AdMob, which is our complementary in-app product. So if you guys are interested in learning more about in-app monetization, go ahead to the AdSense homepage and actually just search for AdMob within our Help Center, and you should be able to find additional details. So we have a question here. It's like, what is DoubleClick for publishers, and how is that related to AdSense? DoubleClick for publishers is actually our ad server, and what the ad server does is it allows you to work with not only AdSense as a monetization stream, but if you did decide that you wanted to facilitate your own advertising partnerships or relationships directly with an advertiser, DFP gives you the ability to schedule all these different campaigns without necessarily going into your site code to constantly switch out tags or etc. Kevin, I know I've sort of been picking on you for the last 3 questions, but you use DFP, and you sort of started with AdSense being hard-coded on your page, and sort of as your business evolved and grew, you decided to leverage DFP. So can you give a little bit more insights into sort of how DFP has streamlined your advertising partnerships?
Sure. Like you said, in the beginning we hard-coded the ads into the site, so it became very difficult and challenging as you got more and more content getting developed. So we had to go in there, make changes, and re-upload all the files, and that was very time-consuming. So what we ended up doing with a site redesign is we incorporated DFP into it, and it allowed us to easily manage the ads from a central location with DoubleClick for publishers, and then we could also work with, if we had a third party selling our ads versus just having AdSense in there as well, we could kind of play with that. But since the redesign, our revenue has tripled using DFP, and it's a lot easier than just having the hard coding itself. But I would say, if you start with the hard coding, you'll get a hang of it first, and then if it makes sense for you to move to DFP, then start playing around with that and see if that works for you.
Excellent. No, that's definitely great advice to share with our partners today. Pardon? Sorry about that. We're actually fielding more questions from our Plus page here. But I think, at the end of the day, like I think what the Hangout on here hopefully has provided to you publishers and partners that are tuned in is a simple understanding at really the unique opportunity that lies within AdSense and the ability for you to earn revenue from your site, whether you're an e-commerce platform, a real estate site, a forum, a unique club, just a content site, a blogger. AdSense really has customization and unique abilities that really help you leverage the product within your own site, within your own business needs, and truly adds value. So I encourage you to definitely sign up. If you have any questions, go ahead and continue to fill them through our Google Plus page, and also help yourself and actually locate our help center within the AdSense page if you want to ask any technical or specific questions. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Kevin and Doug, for joining us today, and we're happy to have you. And thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thanks.